what's up, y'all? This is Eron here, and we're back here with the Eron Podcast. I have my special guest and longtime friend, Lil KC. I'm not going to say your government name, but, how's everything been, and, how has, life been treating you?
Actually, you feel me? Life been like a roller coaster, up and down. I mean, it's been like that since I've been 16, so you know how that go. Ups and downs, but right now it's just going at a steady pace, and I'm ready to get started. Focus on the good and the positive only.
So obviously, you've always been really athletic growing up. I remember our days up at Fox Hill.
Yeah.
It's crazy how how much things have changed. Obviously, I just interviewed Anita B, as everyone calls her now. But just reminiscing. What was it like? First meeting me, hanging out with the crew at Fox Hill.
First met you, it was just like, I found somebody that was like me, like just always nice. Like you see something negative, like you turn it to positive. Like I can say that you was probably like a big person in my life, like for real, like to stay positive. Like you can see me angry, you can see me mad on the court at somebody, and it's just like it's just positive energy being around all y'all. So it's just like y'all always motivated me to get better. So I feel like I became a better person and a basketball player with just being around y'all and seeing how y'all did everything.
So, what was it like, being one of the best athletes in the school? You're the fastest person, not the fastest girl, but the fastest person in the school. What was that like just growing up? Because, it was like that all the way up through high school, but, specifically in elementary school, what was that, entire process like for you?
The process, it wasn't even overwhelming, and I can say, like, it was fun. Like, because I have that positive energy. Like, I know I'm good, but it's not, like, over cocky. I feel like, oh, like, I'm better than you, I can't talk to you. It was more so, if I'm good, it's time to push the people besides me, like, good. Plus, I have younger siblings, so I got a lot of people that look up to me, so it's just like, I can't be like that, because I don't want them to be like that. So it's just always a good thing. Like, okay, I'm good. Well, I feel like I still need to get up here with the boys, because they showing out on me, so I gotta do something to hang. So it was just really a positive experience for me.
So, obviously you had a great track runner who your sister that, grew up a year behind us. What was that like, having her right behind you, having to, it's kind of weird because you kind of had to mentor her, but also compete with her at the same time. What was that entire process like growing up?
With my sister, I mean, me and her are 11 months apart, so we ain't even the whole year. So we the same age for like 2.5 weeks, almost 3. But the experience with that, it was the same way. Like, I knew I was good, but I know she could be better.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember we was in a cross country meet at West Lane actually, and she always stayed behind me, and I'm just like, she has so much energy to me. Like, she got a faster time. So she was jogging next to me, and I'm like, go past me, I'm right behind you. Go, go win, go take the win.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of her staying in 4th place, she actually won that cross country meet, because I told her, we were literally like running West Lane course, and I just said go. She took off, and then ever since then she kept on taking off. She kept on progressing. So that was really what that was for me.
It's funny because, like, for me, obviously, I've always been one of the best basketball players around. But whenever I went to track my 8th grade year, and that was the first experience for me when I wasn't the best at something, in a long time in my life. And I think, like, for me, I don't know what it was, but it was like that 8th grade year, a lot of people went out. Like, all the athletes, not just, the track athletes and the cross country athletes, which is normally who would normally go out. But to go out, you had pretty much the entire basketball team. What was that like when you saw a lot of basketball players and other athletes come on that 8th grade year at Westland?
The 8th grade year, seeing everybody come out, I just feel like,
because
we getting ready, yeah.
My thing is, like, a lot of us did that because we saw you do it. Like, we saw you be a great basketball player, but also, taking track serious. Like, I don't think I would have did it if it wasn't for you. And I think a lot of people did that, and I don't think that gets enough credit because, you had, me, I did it, Anthony did it, KJ did it, Garrett did it, like, and all of us were. We were basketball players. We knew we were going to play basketball, all throughout high school and hopefully in college. And, what was that process like, seeing all of us there, trying out and just seeing that?
Seeing that all y'all tried out is just like dang, like my homies came out. Like that's what the first thing I was thinking. Like everybody came out, but it's just like it's good to actually finally hear you say like I actually inspired some people, because I honestly didn't know. Like, until at that time, I just feel like we're about to have, like, I know these are basketball players, but they fast.
Yeah.
So it's just like all of us is coming together. Like, this is finna be like an epic 8th grade year. Like, we're finna win, like, take over. Like, that's how it looked to me. Like, we got a lot of people that's athletic. Like, I know they ain't ran track, but we all athletic. So it's just like, yeah, Westland's finna be named on the map because of us. Like, all of our athletic people just came together. And they ain't even came together for just a sport that we like. So it's just like, I just feel like we was finna just basically be the names for Westland. Like,
Yeah,
we about to take over.
So what came first? Was it track or was it basketball? Where did your first passion come from, and who introduced you to it?
My first passion, people wouldn't even understand. I started off with gymnastics.
Really?
Yeah. Since
How'd you
I
get
was
there?
I was 3. Like, I was already walking and talking before I was 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I was flipping and everything around the house, and actually they wanted me to go to China.
Really?
They wanted me to go to China. I think I was like 4 or 5, but they said my parents couldn't come. And I was big on having my mom everywhere I was at. So it was just like,
Mama's girl.
China? I'm 5? Nah, I'm not going. But it's just like still seeing the videos and seeing my gymnastics and everything take off. It was just like, I can't believe that at the age of 5 I was like flipping on balance beams. Like high up, like flipping on them. And then landing them perfectly. So it's just like, I remember all that stuff too. So it's just like, that's where I started from and that. But I got introduced to track. I got introduced to track. I always loved basketball. I always played basketball out in the front. But I got introduced to track first, and I was running with the Indy Racing Cheetahs. So
What grade was that?
I say Indy Racing Cheetahs, maybe 4th and 5th grade. That's when we started probably competing the most. That's when I started. But I already knew after a couple years in the past, like I was getting faster, but I always knew basketball was my passion. After your dad taught me that jump shot, after David Quirls and got me my confidence to go against it, it was just like basketball was there for me. It was just like, I can really, you feel me, let go of track really. But it was just more so, I started off with gymnastics and then track and then basketball.
So what was the process like going into high school? Because obviously, you went to different high schools, but what was that entire process like, going from one high school to another and having an entire, high school career, playing varsity, playing JV, that entire overall process?
Now, I can admit, going into freshman year, that summer was rocky for me. So that was like, okay, I almost lost my life to somebody that was close to me, that I was, you feel me, that was supposed to have been there protecting me. So it's just like going into freshman year, my head wasn't so much focused because I feel like I could have did more. But I let my situation get to me. So I feel like if it wasn't for Mr. Gordon, your dad, and it wasn't for my mom to keep pushing me, and I remember those exact words that my mom said to me was like, hey, you can't let this keep taking control over your life or it's always going to have power over you. And if she didn't say those words to me, I don't think it would have clicked because I didn't care for it. I can honestly say I didn't really care. I was just wanting emotions. So it was just like, I just couldn't believe it. So for months, I kept trying to use that as an excuse. And my mom was like, hey, you can't use that as an excuse. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving forward. So I think that was it. And then the fact that your dad was always in my ear when it was going like, go harder. Like during training and during practice and everything, it was just like, you can be this, but you gotta be able to want to push through it. Like we know that you went through this, but you gotta push through that. So I think that's them 2 people is the main 2 things that got me over that barrier.
So what was like when you got out of high school, when you went into the workforce and when you were in the real world after?
So it was kind of a big decision, but it wasn't like, I still feel like I should have took some D1 offers, even if they were D2. I still should have probably went. But I feel like right when I ended school, I had to get straight to getting the money because I felt like I still needed to help my mother, still needed to help my sisters, and still need to help my little brother. I just feel like I was, ever since 16, or ever since before freshman year, I had to step up to be there for my mother. So it was just like, hey, I'm going straight to Amazon. And I was at Amazon for 4 years. So it's just like, I have to do something.
What was the process like at Amazon? When you filled out the application, were you nervous?
Yeah. I was asking my mom a lot of questions like, so what should I work day shift? Should I work night shift? Like, all I do is stay in the gym till like maybe 10, 11 at night. So it's just like, now I have to go and punch in. So when I actually got accepted and went, I worked day shift with my mom. So I roll with her. She made sure I had lunch. She was just making sure everything was cool. But it was just like, this is way different.
Yeah.
This is way different from just going to, you feel me, the JCC. Like, you just going to like do that. So it's just way different.
So y'all, like, what was your job? Like, what did you have to do?
My very first job, I was stowing. So that comes in for the pickers and the packers, and basically we just put everything on the shelves so Amazon online can see that the product is available to be ordered. So I basically just stock the shelves and make sure all the orders is on there so they know. So that's all I had to do then. But I moved around, I bounced around, I did a pack, did dock work. Amazon was pretty cool. You just don't have a life really.
So how many hours was Amazon having you work a week?
10 hours a day.
Okay.
So, but around peak, you just never know. You might work 11 hours a day, you might work 12 hours a day. So it's just like, you really don't have no time, and then the little 2 off days that you got.
Yeah, 6.
5 days.
Yeah.
And then when it's mandatory, it's 6 days or sometimes 7 days. So it's just like, it's just constant. Like, you really don't have a life. So I can say I work at Amazon, I literally work.
Yeah.
And then my off days, I'm sleeping. Maybe one off day I might have a little time to play basketball, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
So it's just like, my body is draining, my body's tired, but it's like, it was good money. So it's just like, oh, okay, I can survive this a little bit. Like, it's good money.
So have you tried to keep up with playing basketball?
Yeah, I always play basketball. Anytime, like I said, I still got younger siblings and younger brothers.
So we can go outside right now and play.
Yeah, yeah, I can just beat you in a 3-point shootout right now. Still, I still got that. I still got that in me. But yeah, I still got the confidence with basketball. Like, I feel like even if I sit off for a month, I just like, oh well, my shot's there. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Like, I'm ready to take on Mr. Gordon. I was just ready. Like, I was just ready for the competition. Like, I really am confident in my shot because, like, I don't think that's ever gonna go away.
So have you thought about playing in any like women's semi-pro leagues or anything?
I actually thought about it. In 2018 when I moved down there to Houston, Texas with Simone. She was talking to a guy about getting into a program to play basketball. So I was getting like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So when I was in Houston, I was planning on it, and I was talking to, I met a girl, and she was like 6'5", but she was a guard. She was like Simone, but she was like a guard. So it was just like, wow. So it was just like, yeah, these Texas girls are way bigger than what I know. So I was actually into it then to do it.
What was that process like, going through that, going to Houston and moving? What was it like when you first moved to Houston?
It was amazing. Like, it was something I ain't never seen before. It was just like, this might be the opportunity that I need. And then I actually got out there and I had to survive on my own. Like, I can say the whole entire year that I lived out there on my own in Houston, I didn't have to call my mom once and ask her for anything. It was just like, okay, they taught me how to survive. So it was just like, hey, you came out here on your own. We got to make sure you can stand out here on your own too. But a lot of stuff with my mom's health came up too. Me and my mom got actually closer because we would sit on the phone for like an hour, 2 hours, and I was really concerned about her health. Like I said, I got a big heart, so anytime something negative comes apart, I'd be like, whoa, this is too much. So when I was hearing everything that was going on at home, I just feel like, yeah, maybe I need to go out there. Maybe I need to go back out there. And then I also, like I said, I also got in a little bit of trouble out there too, which I wouldn't say major, but I got in some trouble out there too, and I was just like, well, yeah, maybe I just need to go focus on my family real quick before I can focus on myself. Because my family to me is big. Family is a big factor in me. I don't care what it is, family is first.
So what was that process like when you first moved there? Like, what was some of the toughest things that you had to deal with, moving somewhere else?
The toughest thing I could say is not being able to drive to mommy right down the street. Something go wrong, like, hey mama, I'm about to come over. I'm about to come over right now. I gotta talk to you. I got a problem. It was hard. Like, you're like 16 hours away, so it ain't gonna come rescue Kayla from this. Like, you have to literally figure this out.
But that was definitely the toughest part.
Yeah, that was the toughest part. Not being able to see my mom like every day, because that's like my best friend. Like, that is my best friend. She knows everything about me.
So when did you get into music? When you got into music, I'm not gonna say it's shocking because I know that we always, we grew up, listening to music together. Drake, Nicki Minaj, like that entire era, Lil Wayne, like, because we grew up from like 3rd or 4th grade all the way up until we were in high school. So the biggest artists, we always used to listen to. What got you into it? Into making music, I should say.
Actually, what got me into, because I've been doing music for a little minute. even us growing up, I've been doing music because my cousin Tanise, she used to do music.
Mm-hmm.
We were like maybe, 12, 13, but she was actually writing full songs. And we were rapping, just doing off beats, but I do it constantly with them. But what really, really made me like, hey, you should put your music out there was seeing my little brothers do it.
Mm-hmm.
So my little brothers are doing it, and it's just like, they really want to do it. And I'm like, they're underage. They need a little bit of support.
Mm-hmm.
So then they hear me. So then they're like, hey, you need to do this. Like, what you doing? Like, you need to do this. So I'm like, all right, man, we about to get us the actual studio. So we try to stick with inside the family, but I feel like trying to get family work stuff done, you don't really get the top potential in some type of perspective. But so I went out and I just paid for the best engineer that I knew that was in town, which is Coach Kane to me. There's other, engineers out, but I paid for Coach Kane. And went from there. Coach Kane sounded nice. He engineers real nice, and he actually helps you. He's an engineer that actually talks with you and get everything done. So it's just like, once we got our first actual recording song done with Coach Kane, it was just like, we're not stopping now.
What's been the toughest part with going through the entire music process?
The toughest part
Mm-hmm.
is dealing with music and personal business.
Yeah.
And then with me, it's me, personal business, and also making sure my little brothers know, like, we might be going through something, but this about to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though might be slowing us down right now, it's gonna be changed.
Yeah.
Like, just to keep pushing, because I have, like, everybody is dying at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, these are boys. And, black male have it harder than anybody else in this world, and that's how I feel. So it's just like seeing my little brothers, and I got 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I can't have y'all out here just with y'all friends and y'all got the same mindset as me.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all really don't have a mindset like how your other friends is, but you could be at the wrong crowd at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So if I can keep y'all occupied with the basketball, you going to go hoop, cool. Y'all with me, I know y'all safe.
Yeah.
We going to the studio together, we good. Y'all cool. So that was really just the main thing, just really trying to balance out everything so I can make sure they stay safe as well as myself. So that's really it, just to keep us energized. That's why when we do studio sessions, it's like, everybody think it's a lot of us, but it's not. Like, I want my brothers there because I don't want them somewhere else.
Yeah.
You feel me? Just hanging around with their friends. Like, nah, like, y'all got to see the process of life. Like, y'all make sure y'all stay consistent with something and do something. So that's what made the hard part right there.
So, how much do you attribute to that? Obviously, most people know me and her, our best friend, passed away in 2015, towards the end of 2015, to a shooting. And, what do you think that did, Donovan Clinkscale? What do you think that did to you in terms of the psychological factor of how, you're going to look after your brothers, and how much, how important was that to you? Because I remember, we talked a little bit after that, and, obviously we had reminisced, but we didn't really talk that much about what that did to us. I'm not sure we knew exactly the extent of what was going on at that age.
Donovan's death is a real big life changer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anybody who came in contact with him know that's been a life changer since he's been passed. Because it's like, me and Donovan last conversation, literally days before, you feel me, this happened to him and he passed, like, he literally was texting my phone like, hey, yeah, I'm going to a different school. I know you at a different school. But it's time to eat. Like, I know we go through different things, but it's time to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the main thing he told me. Like, we at different schools, but it's time to eat.
Yeah.
Like, don't let up so we can go further. And I will never forget him saying that. Like, anytime Donovan texted me and I was gone, like, it was always motivation. So it was like the fact that he just texted me that, and then, like, he get hit by a straight bullet, like something that wasn't really meant for him. Like, it just threw me off because I was ready for him to clown. I feel like his life had changed for him too. So I feel like that would have been the best year of his life, playing at a different school. So it's just like all that changed. So now that I see that it can happen to somebody so close, it's just like, I can't have my brothers like that. Like, y'all could be easily trying to enjoy yourself at a party and then something can go off. Like, I don't want that. Like, wait till y'all can throw your own stuff and y'all get around people that y'all like. Like, wait till y'all make it, like, or something. Like, just slow down the process because I don't want that to happen. I just feel like that was just a big life changer. His death was a big life changer. and the fact that he was just a good person is just.
Yeah, I think
Still
that's
gets
what
to
makes
me.
it the toughest part is, you know, like he was always someone who laughed, who, you know, literally, I'm telling you, when I mean by the funniest person, even to this day, the funniest person I've ever just been around. Because he's funny even when he's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part, like, when he's trying to be funny, he's funny, but even when he's trying not to be funny, he's funny because he always just makes you laugh.
Yeah.
And just, you know, being around that on a day-to-day basis, and, you know, over the past, you know, last year or two, you know, he was working on my dad. He was working on every single day. You know, he was coming to training, and you know, he was really getting himself together. He said that he wanted to transfer to Emmerich Manual High School at City School, and he really wanted to go there. I mean, a number of guys from that school had just went Division I, and I thought that Donovan had the potential to, you know, play college basketball for sure. And for him to be, you know, a couple days away from transferring, and the season was just about to start. It's like like a couple days before my birthday, and to hear that news, it's like it was really devastating. So, you know, obviously, you know, in music, how much has, you know, pain in your life, you know, how much is that attributed to your music?
I feel like the pain that I had when I first started music, first couple videos I dropped, I feel like I dropped them based on me having fun and me having a lot of money and just showing out. Like, that's what it was. But I feel like this upcoming music that I'm actually gonna drop, like my EP and the album I'm gonna drop, like, it's going to introduce me. It's gonna talk about the pain that I've been through. It's gonna talk about me almost losing my life. Like, I'm really more into talking about my pain on a beat than to just know, like, hey, you know you got it now. Now it's time to really let the world know who you are. So that's why I feel like it's gonna be a big changer when it drops, because everybody's gonna really get to understand how I transitioned from basketball into who I am today. And it's like, it's not much of a change because I always still been that person as a basketball person, but I feel like now everything has came into one. So now I can show y'all who I really am. I'm still the same respectful basketball player, still the same respectful athletic person, and just like, now y'all know my life that was behind the scene. And I feel like my life has always been behind the scene as a sports person. Because everybody think like, well, she got it made. Like, she the fastest, or she's good at basketball, she got it made. But nah, like, outside of basketball, inside my house and how I grew up, is different. It's totally different from sports life. Sports is what actually kept me from falling below at an early age. So.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting. And I mean, obviously, when you look at certain situations and just our life, and you know, for the most part, you know, everyone in life, you could, you know, look back and say, okay, when Eron is 23, I could imagine him playing basketball, getting his master's degree. And then you look at other people's situation, you'd be like, oh, like, I never knew Michaela was into music. I thought that she was just going to continue to run track and go run track at university. Like, how much does that, you know, change your life and kind of redirecting what everyone, you know, probably thought of you as? Because now, you're in the effect of music and you know, supporting your family and helping everyone instead of just, you know, being just an athlete. How has that, you know, affected you and your outlook on life in general?
It has affected me, I personally say, like, in a good way. Because now I feel like I'm not trapped behind the door or trapped in the closet, because I was always told, like, whatever goes in the house stays in the house. And I was always confused, like, well, why? Because I'm not living my truth. So it's just like, I want everybody to feel like I'm living this perfect life because we did it something. So it was kind of hard, like, coming towards the older people that actually know me, like the mentors that like knew me, and it's just like they probably feel like they never knew me. But I feel like anybody who actually genuinely loved and cared about me, however I change, they will be able to accept that. And if they don't, then that's a personal problem. So that's just how I see it. So like I changed, I feel like I changed for the good. I feel like me showing everybody like this is truly me, like this truly am, like as long as I know I'm happy, that's all that matters.
So what do you see next in your music career?
The next I see in my music career is going up, like, because I'm versatile. I can melody, I can rap, I can sing. So it's just like all that y'all gonna be able to see. So it's just like everybody that I show, like I don't like showing people my music, my new music, that are who's gonna relate to me and disagree.
Yeah.
Now, if I can show somebody else in a different like culture, like music, a different race than me, and they actually like it, like then I know it's something. Like I was at a park the other day. We were about to play basketball, and so we were waiting on everybody to come, waiting on my brothers and everybody to come. So we had a beat going. I was just rapping, and then like this lady got in her car and she was just like, "Yeah, you're really good." And it just shocked me because like she wasn't the same skin color as me or anything. So it's just like for her to feel that, and I'm just freestyling. Like, all right, okay, we got some more potential. Like I see that y'all see that. Like I just feel like I get that big buzz and the big spark, and then I know when I let my dad listen to this stuff, like he's quick to say nah. And if he's all for it, like he's all for it with our sports, and then I know it's something. And he's all for my music. Like he just like. I gotta get it. Hey, when the next one coming? So and then he's showing my music videos that I have out, and I'm just like, this ain't even the good stuff. But the fact that you treat me like a celebrity or treat me like my music is good, like that means something. So I can always respect that.
So how has the support been from obviously you're gonna have some support from your family, but how has the support have been? Just through people that you've known, has it been kind of fake, or have people been, supporting you a lot? What was the support level with your music career started?
I feel like I got a lot of support, not even counting family. I say I got a lot of support in the community. I got a lot of support in Houston. I got a lot of support in my mom's hometown, in Missouri, and in Kansas and stuff. So it's just like, it varies. And then, like, my little sister, she's in college right now, Iowa State, running track still, so they support it. And then I have friends that play my music and everything when they go to different parties, like at ISU and in different spots, and it's just like everybody's feeling it. So it's just like everybody's like, well, why you ain't dropping? Like, where are you at? Like, where's the album? Like, we waiting on you. So I feel like people are coming a little impatient, but I feel like how I'm going and how I'm doing it, like, I'm gonna leave a mark, because like I'm really singing and rapping and talking about a lot of stuff that people can relate to. So, and then it's just a different perspective for me too. So I really like my melody. A lot of people like the melodies.
Since when have you started doing the melody?
Coach Kane got that out of me.
Really?
Yeah, my song called Fallout. Coach Kane, he was like, just sing it. He like, just try it. Let's see how you sound. That's how he did it. He's just straightforward. Then he started with the singing. He gave him the melody. He said, do it like this. He sung it out. He was like, all right, now do your words like that. So once I did it, it just was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, this sounds good.
So when did you know that you really wanted to, start doing it? And are you going to be doing live performances soon?
I am. I plan on I have a lot of interviews scheduled out of town. I know for sure one in Atlanta, and then another one in Arizona. So I plan on keep on doing a lot of live performances. I know some like young Corey, he always have events. He always have people chances to try to come perform, and just like Straight Free, like they always have a lot of events. So me and my brothers, we try to go into those, a lot. So whenever they start bringing out some more and we get our tapes out and get the videos going, like we're gonna start going to all of those again and do it just to get out there. We're not gonna miss nothing. We're not gonna do nothing. Like a lot of people say, like, oh, we're not doing those type of shows, like, but we are. That might be true, but we are, because we want to be known. We want to get out there, and then we already had to take like 6 months or so off. We ain't really been dropping no music or anything, but we've been making it. We ain't been dropping it, but we've been making it. So we ready. We real confident in all our music. Like we got our own logo, YG, and it stands for Youngins Getting It Entertainment.
So who's all in the group?
So it's me, myself, and it's my 3 little brothers. So it goes Lil E, it goes Chris,